Welcome to our channel Physics for AP, and today we are going to discuss about another new topic about the chemical reactions and its equations. So for the state syllabus, this chapter was been eliminated last year. So for state syllabus, they don't have this chemical reaction and equation, but for the CBSE they do have this chemical reaction and equation. That is for CBSE 10th grade we have it, and coming for the state syllabus they have it in their 9th grade. So in state syllabus they have it in their 9th grade over here. So now let us discuss about the chemical reactions and its equations here. So we will discuss about the definition of it and the properties, that is the characteristics of the chemical reactions, and some of the examples. And we will be discussing about the chemical equation, and in that we will discuss about word equation and skeleton equation, and also balanced chemical equation and how to balance a chemical equation. So most of them face many problems how to balance the chemical equation. So we have a easy method here to solve the balancing equation here, and we'll be discussing about the four types of chemical reaction, that is combination, decomposition, displacement, double displacement, along with their examples. And we will be discussing about the oxidation and reduction reaction, or we have another one which is the redox reaction, and among that we will discuss about the corrosion and rancidity. So now it's time to discuss about the chemical reaction, its definition and characteristics, and let us discuss about the chemical equation and how to balance this. So let us move on to our topic. So here chemical reaction. So chemical reaction is the reaction in which a new substance is formed. So whenever we get a new substance, then we said to be called as a chemical reaction. When a new substance is not formed, then we won't call it as a chemical reaction. That means there should be a chemical change in this reaction. So in your lower grade you might have learned about the physical change and a chemical change. So physical change means no new substance is formed, and chemical change, a new substance is formed. So the chemical reaction means we need a new substance. That means there should be a chemical change, then only it is said to be called as a chemical reaction. For example, let us take a basic chemical equation here, that is A plus B. So we have two chemicals, so when they are been combined over here, we got another new chemicals here which is C plus D. So the middle, the arrow mark which is said to be called as gives rise to. So gives rise to means when these two are being combined, the what we are getting, the final, is said to be called as gives rise to. So to the left side of the arrow mark, that is here we have A plus B, so they are called as the reactants. So the reactants means the chemicals which are being participating in the chemical reaction. So the chemicals which are being participating in the chemical reaction is called as the reactants. And coming to here, that is the right side of the arrow mark, we have C plus D, which are called as products. So products are the substance, the new substance which is formed in the chemical reaction is said to be called as the products. So I think you got about the definition of reactants and products. So reactants is the chemicals which are participating in the chemical reaction is said to be called as reactants. Now when they have been combined and when they are been reacted, so gives rise to, we get a new substance, that is C plus D. Now the new substance which is formed in the chemical reaction is said to be called as the products. And during a chemical reaction, so there are various changes. The one is there could be a change of state, that means it could be a solid, liquid, or gaseous. So there will be a change of the state over here, and the change in color, so color may change, and also you may call it as precipitate may form. So precipitate means the insoluble substance. So the insoluble substance which is formulated. So the insoluble substance formed in a chemical reaction is called as precipitate, and when a precipitate is formed, we mention it as a down arrow mark. So down arrow mark represents for the precipitate. So what is precipitate? It is an insoluble substance. And also the evolution of gas. So gas also may be evolved. So when a gas is released, we use a up arrow mark symbol over here. And change in temperature. So there may be a change in temperature. That means a heat may rise up or heat may That is, we call it as endothermic and exothermic reactions. So endothermic reaction is the chemical reaction in which we supply the heat to it. We supply the heat to the chemicals, so which is said to be called as endothermic reaction. So endothermic reaction is which liberates the heat, that means which releases the heat. Here the heat is being absorbed, and here the heat is being liberated, that means it is given to us. Here we have to give the heat, that is endothermic. Exothermic, that the heat will be given to us, which is said to be called as exothermic. So further we'll be discuss about endothermic and exothermic in detail. Now let us move on to the chemical equation. So chemical equation is the equation in which the reaction is represented in the form of symbols. So in the form of symbols, and the word equation is which is represented in the form of words. So example, if we see here, we have magnesium plus oxygen gives rise to magnesium oxide. So as it is being represented in the word, so we call this as a word equation. So we call it as a word equation. And if this are being represented in the form of symbols, that is magnesium for Mg, oxygen for O2, magnesium oxide, that is MgO, then it is said to be called as a chemical equation. But in this chemical equation, we have two types of chemical equation, which is a skeleton chemical equation and a balancing chemical equation. So here we have Mg plus O2 gives rise to MgO. Here the equation is not being balanced over here. So if the equation is not being balanced, then it is said to be called as a skeleton equation. So why we should balance the chemical equation? So is it important to balance the chemical equation? Why can't we write it directly the skeleton equation of here? So balancing the chemical equation is very important. So why it is important, that will be seen now here. So we have discussed about the word equation, which is represented in the form of words, and the chemical equation, which is represented in the form of symbols. Now coming to the balanced chemical equation. So balanced chemical equation is the equation in which the reaction, the equation of reaction in which the number of atoms of each element is same before and after the chemical reaction. That is, in a chemical reaction, before and after, the number of atoms of an element should be same. Then only it is said to be called as a balanced chemical equation. So if you have learned in your 9th grade, you might have learned about the law of conservation of mass. So law of conservation of mass is that is the atoms are neither created, they are not been destroyed. So they are converted one to another. That is, the atoms, they are not being created as well as they are not being destroyed. So their masses will be same. That is, before the reaction and after the reaction, their masses will be same. And also the number of atoms of the particular element are also same. For example, if we take magnesium MgO here, on the right side also we have magnesium, which is having only one quantity. But in case of oxygen, we have two atoms of oxygen here, but we have only one atom of oxygen. Now to balance the oxygen, we place 2 over here. Now the number of oxygen present here is 2 now, as we have magnesium 1, oxygen 1, so 1 into 2, so 2, so oxygens are 2. But now the magnesium has been changed, so now we have magnesium, so magnesium has as we have 1, here we have 2 magnesiums. So to balance that also, we keep here 2 magnesiums, that is 2 MgO here. Now overall when we write it, 2 Mg plus O2 gives rise to 2 MgO. So now this is the balanced chemical equation. Now in case of second equation, so we have zinc plus HCl. When it combines, we get zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas. So when we have zinc, one zinc on the left hand side, that is on the reactant sides we have one zinc, on the product side also we have one zinc over. Now coming to the hydrogens, on the left side we have only one hydrogen, but on the right hand side we have two hydrogens. Here we have one chlorine and here we have two chlorines. Now to balance the hydrogens and chlorines, so we multiply 2 over here. We should multiply the 2 over here, then we get it as 2HCl. Now there are 2 hydrogens and 2 chlorines. Here also we have 2 hydrogens and 2 chlorines. Now it is a balanced chemical equation. And also one more thing we have to represent it is, we have to represent the state. So zinc is a solid state, yes. So hydrochloric acid, which is in aqueous solution, or we can write as liquid. So zinc chloride, which is aqueous solution, and the hydrogen as a gas has been released, so we have to represent it as G, gas. As the gas is released, we have to represent it as an up arrow mark. So now here also for magnesium, as a magnesium ribbon, it is a solid. Oxygen gas, it is a gas, and the magnesium oxide which we get here is in the form of powder, so here also we write it as solid here. Now actually in your textbook they might have drawn a table of upon this, so we write it as LHS and RHS, and we see the number of magnesiums and oxygens. So we have one magnesium and two oxygens on the right hand side, one magnesium, two oxygens and one oxygen on the right hand side. We multiply with these two, so there is a lengthy process over here. So those who are easy for them, it's okay, but this type of method will be applicable only for a limited number of equations here. That is, for a short equations like this it will be easy for here, but when you take for the lengthy one, that means the bigger equations, this method will be possible, but it takes so much of time. So we have a new method over here which is called the mathematical method. So with that help of the mathematical method, you can solve any chemical reaction, and you can solve the balancing equations without no doubt over here. So all you need to know is a little bit mathematics, then it is easy to balance the chemical equation here. So here we have some of the chemical equations here. So we have 4 chemical equations. Now we will be going to solve each of the chemical equations. So let us balance those chemical equations. So now let us balance the first one. So we have first one, HNO3 plus CaOH twice, that is calcium oxide, gives rise to calcium nitrate plus water molecules has been released. Now before going here, we need to see that how many nitrogen molecules, how many oxygen molecules, how many calciums, how many hydrogens are there, that we need to write it. So let us see the first equation. So we have HNO3 plus Ca, so we write in it like this, okay. So HNO3 plus CaOH twice gives rise to CaNO3 of twice plus H2O, water has been released. So now let us balance this equation here. Now, so observe carefully while balancing it. It's very easy, as we don't have the coefficients. So whenever we balance after balancing we get the coefficients, right? So what we'll do is we'll assume the coefficients as A, B, C, D. So we'll assume the coefficient of HNO3 as A. So A, HNO3 plus, for this we write it as the balancing equation B, balancing coefficient B, CaOH twice gives rise to CaNO3 of twice plus D of H2O. Now what we have to do is we have to take each and every element over here. So first, as we have hydrogens, and next we have nitrogen, next we have oxygen, next we have calcium, that's it. So I can see the number of atoms, how many the atoms which are present here, the same atoms also will be present on the right hand side, but only the variation is the number of atoms will be variation. So we have to balance that variation over here. So we have hydrogens, nitrogen, oxygen as well as calcium, Ca for calcium. Now let us see the coefficients of hydrogen on both sides over here. So we have here 1. So 1 into the coefficient of A, 1 into A. So A, so this side is over. Now here we have hydrogens on this side, that is plus. So we have 2 hydrogens. So 2 hydrogens, 2 into B, 2B. 2 into B, 2B. So 2 hydrogens, 2 of B, 2B. Gives rise to. So when we have gives rise to, we write it as equals to. Equals to. So we don't have any hydrogens over here. Then we'll move on to this. So here we have hydrogen. So we have 2 hydrogens here. So 2 into D, 2D. Now we got it, the first equation here. Now coming for the nitrogens, the number of nitrogens here. We have only one nitrogen. So 1 into A, 1A. That is A. So in this we don't have any nitrogens here. Now coming to this on the other side, so we write it as equals to. So here we have CaNO3 of twice. So 3 belongs to oxygen, twice belongs to both nitrogen and oxygen. So we have 2. Here we have the number as 1. 1 into 2, 2. That means 2 nitrogens here. 2 nitrogens into the coefficient C. 2C. 2C. So no nitrogens. That's it. I think you got what I am saying here. 2 into nitrogen. 2 nitrogens plus into C. So 2C. Now coming to the oxygen here. So we have 3 oxygens here. 3 into A, 3A. Next. Here also we have an oxygen, so we have to keep it as plus. Here we have oxygen, so 2 oxygens we are having it as it is twice. So 2 oxygens, 2 into B, 2B. And you are moving to the right hand side, so equals to. So here we have 3 oxygens and twice, that is 3 2s are 6. We have 3 2s are 6. 6 into C, 6C plus. And here we have only one oxygen, so 1 into D, 1D. And coming to the calcium, so we have only one calcium here, that is B, 1 into B equals to. So we have only one calcium also here, so 1 into C, 1C, that is C. Now let us find out the coefficients here, the value of the coefficients. So I think you got how do we got all this. So the number of respective elements what we are having it, we have to multiply those coefficients and we have to write it in a linear equation form. Now as we have A, B, C, D, 4 variables we are having it. So assume any one of it as 1, either A as 1 or B as 1 or C as 1 or D as 1, that is your wish. But you need to consider anything as 1 so that you can get the another variable here. For example, so in this equation that is A equals to 2C, if we assume C is equals to 1, that means if you take C is equals to 1, then you will get the A value, right? So you will get the A value, that is A value is equals to 2 into 1, that is A is equals to 2. So as if you assume the C value as 1, you got the A value, as well as you got the B value also. So B, as B is equals to C, as C you have taken as 1, so B is also equals to 1. So B is also is equals to 1. Now we got A value as 2, B value as 1, C value as 1, and we need the D value now. So D value, how can we get the D value? Simple, by substituting A, B, C values any of this. So let us take the first equation here. So A plus 2B is equals to 2 into D. So A value is 2 plus 2 into B value is 1 is equals to 2D. So 2 plus 2, 4 is equals to 2D. So as we need D value, 4 divided by 2, that is equals to 2. Now we got the whole D value as 2. So we got the D value as 2 over here. Now substitute the A, B, C, D values in the given form over here. So A value is, as we have 2, so write it as 2HNO3 plus the B value we got it as 1, CaOH twice gives rise to the C value which we have got as 1, that we have taken it, so CaNO3 twice plus D value, so as we got 2, so consider it as 2. Now this is the final equation which we got after balancing it. So this is the balanced chemical equation. So if you have doubt, you can find it out. So here we have 2 hydrogens and 2 hydrogens, that means total 4 hydrogens we have it. Here also 2 2s are 4 hydrogens. Now hydrogens are being balanced. Now coming for the nitrogen. So coming for the nitrogen, here we have 2 nitrogens, right? So 1 into 2, 2 nitrogens. So here also we have 1 into 2, 2 nitrogens. Both sides nitrogens are also balanced, so nitrogens are also balanced. Now coming for the oxygen. So coming for the oxygen, here we have 3 into 2, that is 6, plus here we have 2, that is 8 oxygens we have on the left hand side. Now let us see on the right hand side. So right hand side, so here we have 3 oxygens into 2, so 3 to the 6 plus, so here we have 1 into 2, 2, that is 6 plus 2, 8. So here also we have 8 oxygens. Now oxygens are also balanced. Now coming to the calcium, so we have 1 calcium here, so here also we have 1 calcium. Now calciums are also balanced. So the overall equation which we got here is the balanced chemical equation. So no doubt this equation, if you practice it, it will be very easy for you to balance it. So let's move on to the another one. Let us move on to the another. So let us take this equation, that is NaOH plus H2SO4. So NaOH plus H2SO4 gives rise to Na2SO4 plus H2O. So now let us try to balance this chemical equation now. So the first thing, simple, assume the variables as A. So write the variables as A, B, C, D. So A, NaOH plus B, H2SO4 gives rise to C, Na2SO4 plus D, H2O. So this is what we got it, the variables A, B, C and D. Now write down the elements what we have here. The first step is write down the elements. So we have sodium, we have oxygen, we have hydrogen and we have sulfur. That's it, right? So remaining all are present. See that the same elements also will be presenting on the right hand side also. Now write down the equations here. So we have 1 sodium, so 1 into A, 1 A. So we don't have any sodium in this. So coming to the right hand side, sorry, here we have 2 sodiums, so 2 into C, 2C. That's it. So no sodium over here. So we got the first equation, that is A equals to 2C. And coming for the oxygen, so here we have 1 oxygen, so 1 into A, 1A, that is A. And here also we have oxygen plus, so 4 oxygens, so 4 into B, 4B is equals to the number of oxygens which we have here, that is 4. So coefficient is C, 4 into C, 4C. And the number of oxygens over here, that is 1 into D, 1D. And coming to the hydrogens, let us see hydrogens. We have 1 hydrogens here, 1 into A, 1A plus, so we have 2 hydrogens here, so 2 into B, 2B. is equals to, here we don't have hydrogen, so here we have hydrogen, so 2 into D, 2D. Next, coming to sulfur, so we have one sulfur here, that is 1 into B is equals to the sulfur on this side, as we don't have any number here, that means 1, so 1 into C. Now here also you can consider any A, B, C, D or anything as 1. So you can consider anything as 1 so that you can get the another value. So I am assuming as C is equals to 1. So if you take C is equals to 1, from this we get A is equals to 2 into 1, that is 2. So you got the A value as 2. And next, as we got A value 2 and C value 1, from this equation, as C is 1, so B is equals to 1. So B is also is equals to 1. Now it's time to get the D value over here. So let us use any of this equation. So I'm using this. So as from this equation, so A is 2 plus B, 2 into B is 1, is equals to 2D. Same as usual what we got before, the same thing we will be having here. 4 divided by 2, that is 2. So overall D is equals to 2. Now substitute this A, B, C, D value in this. So as A for 2, that is 2 NaOH plus B. So as B is 1, so no need to write 1 again, gives rise to C. So C is also 1, so Na2SO4 plus D, as we have 2, so we'll write it as 2H2O. So this is the equation which we got. And for suppose if I take A is equals to 1, then what happens here? If I take A equals to, so we have another method also. For suppose by mistakenly you have taken A is equals to 1. So let us see that. If A is equals to 1, then what you get the C value here? C value is equals to 1 by 2. So as A equals to 2C, if you take A is 1, so 1 equals to 2C. From this you want C value, so if you reciprocal the 2, we get C is equals to 1 by 2. Now as you got C is equals to 1 by 2, then the B value also will become as 1 by 2, right? Now what about the D value here? Now let us calculate the D value now. So A plus 2B is equals to 2D. So I have taken A as 1 plus 2 into B value. So as B value we have taken as 1 by 2 is equals to 2D. 2 gets cancelled. So 1 plus 1 we get it as 2. 2 is equals to 2D. So from this D equals to 2 divided by 2, that is equals to 1. Now we got the D value as 1. Now substitute these values in the equation which we have here. So A, as we have 1, NaOH plus B value. So B value is we have taken as 1 by 2, so we write it as 1 by 2. 1 by 2 H2SO4 gives rise to C value. So C value we have 1 by 2, so 1 by 2 Na2SO4 plus D value, we got D value as 1 here, so D as 1, so H2O. Now as we have in mathematics, that is 1 plus 1 by 2, what we'll do, we'll do the LCM, right? So we'll do the LCM and write it as, so we'll do the LCM and write it as 2 plus 1 by 2, right? So we'll write it as 2 plus 1 by 2. So if you see here, we have quotient 1 and here we have 1 by 2. Now the LCM will be taken as 2. So the LCM will be taken as 2. So 2 NaOH. I'm just doing the LCM just like in mathematics. So think that these are the variables like some x or y or z plus H2SO4 gives rise to, and here also you have to do the LCM. So Na2SO4 plus, so we have 1 here, so 1 into 2, 2H2SO, 2H2O. So now 2 gets cancelled. Now when you write the overall equation, 2NaOH plus H2SO4 gives rise to Na2SO4 plus 2H2O. So this is the same equation which we got here before. So if you see the same equation which we got here, both are same. So you can take any value as A, B, C, D as 1, but think logically that if you take one value, you should get the another value. Definitely you will get. And if you get by fractions over here, just do the LCM and cancel on both sides. So you will get the final equation here. And here we have another equation which is potassium sulfate and barium chloride. So potassium sulfate plus barium chloride. So I am giving you the basic basic equation is a potassium sulfate, that is K2SO4 plus barium chloride as BaCl gives rise to barium sulfate BaSO4 plus KCl. So I have given you the equation, so you can solve it. And also down we have carbon dioxide plus H2O gives rise to C6H12O6 plus O2. So as we have, so 2 BaCl2 Ba2SO4. So here we have carbon dioxide, water, and C6H12O6 which is glucose and oxygen. So this is the equation which we have in photosynthesis equation. So it is nothing but the photosynthesis equation. So you do the method which I have told you now, the mathematical method. So you will get the final answer as 6CO2 plus 6H2O gives rise to C6H12O6 plus 6O2. So you will get the final equation by doing the mathematical method. And here we have the word equation. So K2SO4 plus barium chloride BaCl2 gives rise to barium sulfate Ba2SO4 plus KCl. So try these two equations over here by your own. And today what we have discussed is, we have discussed about the chemical reaction and the chemical equations and how to balance the chemical equation. So right now, thank you for your time. So any doubts regarding the how to balance the chemical equation, so once again I will make a separate video based upon the balancing chemical equation, or you may give the balanced chemical equation. So this is my mail ID, so physics4ap@gmail.com. so this is my mail ID, so you can mail your equation or you can take a picture of it and you can send me. So your doubts will be again sent to you back. So right now, thank you for your time. Please subscribe the channel, like the video if you like it, and give your valuable comment. Thank you one and all.